Daniel Liu is an Ottawa Hills High School student who skipped 4 grades. He's 13 in the 11th grade, but you won't see him here. Daniel is an undergraduate researcher at the University of Toledo. So from noon until 8, he's here developing new chemical tools to make new compounds.
When he started in the lab, he was shorter than he is now. It was really hard for him to do everything, just he couldn't even reach, for example, our racks.
And when interviewing Daniel, it's like talking to most teenagers.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
A young man of few words.
Yeah.
Until you ask about biochemistry.
In this lab, we're doing some CH activation. So that's converting a carbon-hydrogen bond into a carbon, some other atom bond.
Yes, he's the shortest and youngest in the room. No one will argue with you about that. But his height and age aren't the only reasons why he stands out in Michael Young's lab.
My sophomore organic class, we took the first exam, and then after the exam, I said, if anyone is interested in doing research in my lab, let me know. And Daniel, who made the highest grade on the exam, immediately was just like, ooh, me. My first thought was, no one's gonna let him actually work in the lab.
But they did. A then 11-year-old Daniel Liu gained support from his family, UT staff members, and students. Next thing you know, he had on a white lab coat.
So what this does is, so from my column fractions, it helps remove the solvent inside.
The big challenge is always that Daniel is intellectually very much like an adult. Socially, he's still very much a kid.
So when it comes to developing better ways to make new molecules that can be used as drugs or agricultural chemicals, Daniel is heavily involved in these projects. Occasionally, he needs a little help along the way.
Sometimes he'll surprise you by what he does know, but it's also surprising sometimes the things you expect that he'll know and then he does not.
So you can see the solvent's condensing here, and if I turn it back up, then it won't go as fast, just because the vacuum isn't pulling as hardly.
Actually, working with him is like a PhD student. You are working with a PhD student, but he's just a high school fellow.
So it's really made me have to step up my game to be better myself.
An assistant professor and a postdoctorate fellow working with a 13-year-old undergraduate researcher.
Regardless of what he wants to do, Daniel definitely has the foundation to do it. And we're just hoping that we've given him a love of doing research that he'll want to continue doing it.
It feels good to be working with these people. It's like being able to work with some of these world-class researchers.
I'm Bridget Burnett for the Daily Downtown.